Hello everyone, welcome back to Seal from the Heart Creation, where creation is a process of the mind. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make the bucket ruffle hat. Now, I've shown several of them on my short videos if you want to go back and watch, but I was in the middle of doing several different hats for some clients, and I decided I was going to go ahead and put this second one that I'm doing. As you can see, this is one of the hats here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one on camera, and that way you can see the details of it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the materials that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this pumpkin color by Red Heart yarn. I believe that this is Red Heart, not sure. It's something that I had around the house, and my niece wanted me to make her these two particular colors. I'm going to use a 4 millimeter crochet needle, a pair of scissors, and I'm going to use my tape measurement. This pattern is very simple, and you're just increasing by each row. And without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start off with my tan color because I think I really like the tan to be first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a magic circle, and in that magic circle I'm going to be doing 10 half double crochets. So you take your needle, you put it underneath of the first, and you grab the second, pull it up and twist it. That's how I do it anyways. And then you bring a loop over to make sure that it's connecting to that magic circle. And that way you can maneuver the string however you want to close it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do 10 half double crochets in there. This is one. And by the way, both of these yarns are 4-ply. Now I'm going to connect it to the first stitch of the row, and I do crochet tightly with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain up one, and then in that same stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. This is the second row, so in each of the half double crochets I'm going to be doing 2 stitches. Remember, the first one was 10. Now we want to end up having 20 stitches. Now I'm coming down to the last 2. And I'm going to slip stitch into this first crochet here. Change my color, so I'm going to come back out. I like to cut my changing thread and kind of whip it in there as I'm going along, or should I say crochet it into my work as I'm going along, instead of having all of those tails at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my needle in this first crochet here. I'm going to bring this over, and then I'm going to take this other yarn and bring it over, and I have like a space like this, and I'm just going to bring this on through like so into the working loop that I have, and I'm going to work it into this first half double crochet. I chained up one, and I'm going back into that same spot, and I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. And then I'm going to tie this off And this way I can go ahead and work it into the project. I think it's much better. A whole lot of people don't like knots, but it's workable for me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off this tan color here, and I'm going to work it into my work as I go. So I've made my first 2 double crochets. We on our 3rd row, so it's going to be 2 double crochets in your first and 1 double crochet in the next, and that's going to be the repeation for round 3, and you should end up with 30. Okay, I'm at my last 2 stitches, and I'm going to do 2 in the first of the last 2, and then 1 in the last. I'm going to go right back into this first half double crochet and slip stitch. And this is the end of my 3rd row. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tight to close up my circle. And I'm going to actually sew that in at the end. But to continue on to round 4, we're going to chain up, and we're going to go right back into that spot there, and we're going to do a half double crochet, and this time we're going to be doing 2 half double crochets into the first one, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets afterwards, half double crochets. So that's 2 half double crochets, and then that's 2 single half double crochets into the next 2, and we're going to repeat that all the way around, and I'll see you when I get here. And I have 3 stitches left, so we're going to do 2 stitches here, and 1 in the next 2. And joining, we're going to change our color. The end of round 4, you should have 40 stitches. And what I'm going to do, as always, I'm going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet or stitch, and I'm going to add my tan color, and now I'm going to chain up 1, and in that same stitch, make sure you pull. If you're going to do it my way, make sure you pull both of them to have it pulled together tightly. I'm going to hold these 2 in the back, and I'm going to do 2 half double crochets back into that same spot. Yarning over those strings. I'm going to tie it and work it through. After I tie it, I'm going to cut off the orange. Now, in this row, which is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5th row, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the first one, and then we're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 3. So I've already did my 2. I'm sorry, it's half double crochets. So I'm going to work 3 half double crochets in the next 3 while working in those tails. Again, 2 double crochets in the next, half double crochets, I'm sorry gang, and 1 half double crochet in the next 3. Okay, I'm at my last 4 stitches, and the first one I'm going to put 2 half double crochets in the first one and 3 in the last 3. And at the end of 5, you should have a total of 50. As we move on through our project, as we increasing by 10. So I'm not changing colors. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into my first stitch and repeat the row by chaining up. And I'm going to repeat with the same color for row 6. I'm going back into the same stitch with 2 half double crochets. And this time, since we increased by 3, we're going to increase by doing 4 in the next 4 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 double crochets in the next, half double crochets in the next. I don't know why I want to keep saying double crochets. And then 4 single half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. 2 half double crochets in the next, followed by 4 half double crochets in the next 4. And I'll see you when I get back. Okay, I'm down to my last 5 stitches, and I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 half double crochets and 4 half double crochets in the last 4 stitches. And I'm going to be changing my color in this round back to orange. So I'm going into my first stitch, attach my orange yarn, and bring it through and chain up 1. And this is our 7th row, so we're going to do 2 more increases, 2 more increase rows. So this is our 7th, so I'm going to go ahead and do 2 half double crochets into this one, and I'm going to tie off my yarn so that I can cut it, making sure that I pulled it real tightly to close that up. Cut the tan, and this round we're going to be doing 2 in the first and 5 half double crochets in the next 5, working that yarn into our stitches that we cut off. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're doing 2 in the next, which is going to be our repeat, and 5 in the next 5. Okay, I'm at the last 6 stitches, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that first of the 6 and 5 single half double crochets in the next 5 stitches. We're going to close this off by going into the first half double crochet, or should I say the first stitch, chain up 1. We are now on our 8th round, and our 8th round is going to be the last. Well, I'm going to go up to 7, but if you have a smaller head, you may want to stop at this round here, but I'm going to go 1 extra one, but we're going to do, I'm sorry, you should have had 70 stitches in this round. Again, each round is increased by 10. So now we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that same spot. And we're going to do 6 double crochets following that. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm at my last 7 stitches of this row. So again, we're going to end with 2 half double crochets and 6 in the following 6 stitches. If your work side to curve, you can just stretch your circle out. And this is coming along very nicely. I'm getting ready to change my color again. And again, for a smaller head, you want to stop here, but I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more rows of increases. Well, I'm going to do 1 more row with increase. Okay, this here is the last increase I'm going to do. And this portion here is for the crown of your head. So, like I said, the row before is for a smaller size. And you want to measure in between this to make sure that it's going to fit your client. So if I would have measured, let's say, where the orange ended, it would have been about 6 inches. But since I'm going 1 more row, it's actually going to be like 6 7/8, which should fit a larger person's crown of their head. So in this one, since that was my last one, and of course the total of this row was 90 because I did 9 rows. I'm going to go ahead and chain up 1, and now we're going to change the stitching. We're doing no more increases. So in order to start forming the hat to go the way that you want it to go, and that is in the bucket style, we're going to do 1 half double crochet in your first one, and then we're going to do back loops all the way around. The back loop is this stitch here, which is because you have 2 stitches when you crochet. You have 1 in the front and 1 in the back. So we're going to take this back one, and then if you look a little further, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. If you look a little further, in your back loops, you have a loop that's underneath of there as well. We're going to go into both of those loops. So you're going to have 2 loops. You chain over the yarn, and you go into this one and the one that's underneath of it, which you will have 2 loops. Come through that and pull through both. Do that again. Go through, go underneath to your previous row, pull through. Pull through that top one, go underneath, and pull through. And this changes the position of, it puts a line in it, and after you done it a few times, like, you'll start seeing the little bump that's on the top of your row. Coming to the end, and I'm at my last couple of stitches, and as you can see, the hat is now turning upwards. Blah, 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 blah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it around now. As your hat going to start, you're going to start crocheting your hat like so. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch. And since we already turned it downward now, we can go ahead and just do continuous 1 half double crochet in each of these. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to the orange now. So I'm going to slip stitch into this stitch and put my orange over top of there. We're going to do front loop only. So that is just that first loop. I'm coming down to my last 3 stitches, and I'm just going to do the last 3 front posts half double crochets and join here at the first one and chain up. As you can see, it changed the position, and you start seeing it to form in that bucket style. So what we're going to do now is do the brim part of the hat, and we're just going to do half double crochets all the way around. And each and every stitch. Okay, I come to the end of my rim after the double crochet back loop, front loop. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows extra. And my measurements are about three, almost 3.5. So I finished this off now, and this is my bucket. As you can see, the bucket has already formed. Now we're going to start doing the ruffles. I also changed my colors as I went along, and I have just the slip stitch to do. So I'm going to slip stitch in here, and then I'm going to chain up 3. The ruffles are actually going to be done in 3 and double crochets itself. So in the same loop, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more double crochets. Excuse me. Actually, I'm going to make it 3. And that's what we're going to do in every half double crochet going around. 3 double crochets in each stitch going around. I finished with my first set of ruffles going around. As you can see, I think the hat looked pretty good. So what I'm going to do is, if you choose, you can stop at this particular section right here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do about 3, maybe 2 to 3 more rows, depending on how it comes out. Hi there. This is how it looks on a mannequin head. And I'm just going to stick it on my head for the meantime. And this is how it looks on my head. I don't particularly care for them that much, but let me pull my hair down to make it look a little bit more presentable. And what do you guys think? I think it's marvelous. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that you can go ahead and do your own bucket ruffle hat. Until the next video, you have a marvelous day. See you later, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day, night, or evening, whichever one you're in. All right, until the next time, bye.